Okay, so tips for new teachers. So I actually just joined VIPKID for maybe a couple of weeks, so I'm very new, and I've been realizing just a number of tips that would have been useful before I joined. So I'm just here to outline 5 of them that I thought were pretty useful. So tip number 1, make sure to set up your payment account. So when you decide to apply for this job, just kind of research the options that you have. It takes some time to do all the research, and you have to do this because VIPKID pays us in US dollars. If you're in Canada, you have to kind of figure out how you want to be paid. You can be paid through PayPal, you can have it deposited in your regular account, but there's all these fees associated with it, and a lot of people have mentioned that PayPal will deduct a lot of fees, so what you're actually earning is significantly less when it gets deposited in your actual Canadian account. I myself have chosen to go the TransferWise way. I can make another video on that one, but that's the option I chose, and it did take me a little bit of time to kind of research everything associated with it and to actually set up the account and get it up and running. So you kind of want to make sure that you have this information all available and all set up, so when that you sign your contract, you can actually just go in and fill in all the information without any delay. And obviously you don't want to be delayed in getting paid, so that's important to get set up. So tip number 2, join as many Facebook groups as you can. So there are some groups where you have to answer these questions. It's a private group and they won't let you join until you answer and submit your replies. Some of them you won't be able to actually fill in the answers until you're actually hired. Some of them obviously you don't, you can just join them. I recommend joining them because you can get a lot of important information and very useful information from a lot of experienced teachers in these groups. Some of the information that you get, you can't really find anywhere else. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and read frequently asked questions on their website, but some of the information that you can get from their groups, you can't get anywhere else. So I would really recommend joining as many as you can in the beginning, just to learn more about, say, your payment methods, how the whole thing works, what experiences teachers had. I myself have joined just 2 actually so far. First one is VIPKID Canadian Teachers, and I joined that one because I wanted to know how being a Canadian affects me in this job and payment methods. So I was a bit confused about that at first, so I joined this group and I did learn some information from there, which was very useful. I also joined the VIPKID Props and Rewards group. That one will kind of show you what kind of props you can actually use during your classes. A lot of ideas for reward systems that are also very useful. As a new teacher, you probably don't have any clue as to what you can do, what you can use, so going through these groups will give you a lot of ideas and kind of pull you in the right direction as to how you should go about doing all this. Now we're at tip number 3, very important. Do not over-invest. I know it's very, very tempting to go out and buy a whole bunch of new equipment, new furniture, and decorate your classroom with a whole bunch of props. I mean, you're just gonna go run out to the dollar store or Walmart and look for anything that you think might be useful. Don't do it yet. As soon as you're hired, just kind of look around your home. I'm sure if you have children or kids, there are a lot of toys and items you can use to decorate your classroom in the meantime and in the beginning as you get settled in. Don't go out and just splurge and buy a whole bunch of stuff. Now I know you can expense a lot of the materials that you use for your classroom, but before you're sure what you really need, don't go out and spend a whole lot of money. There are some basic props that you may want to use that will for sure come in handy. One of them is a whiteboard. You will need that one. So I would recommend getting a whiteboard. But anything other than that, don't go crazy and buy a whole bunch of materials and then a couple weeks down the road or 2 months down the road, you realize that you really don't need it and you're stuck with a whole bunch of clutter in your home. So don't over-invest until you're really sure what you need, and then you can go out and buy it. Now we're at tip number 4, very, very important. As soon as you're hired, you'll get invited to actually some workshops. One of them is obviously an introductory one. I think it's called VIPKID 101. Very useful for you to attend any and all workshops that you can find. So far I have attended about 3. They're all introductory ones, ones for new teachers. I attended one for unit assessments and projects because you can technically get booked for one of those classes when you open up your slots. So I didn't want to be caught, having one of those classes and having no idea as to what I'm doing. So I did attend one of those. I know there are a lot of other useful workshops that were recommended. One of them is the TikTok time management workshop. That one is also very useful. I have not yet attended yet, but I do plan on finding a time slot that fits my schedule, and I will attend that one. All of the workshops are hosted by very experienced teachers. They have a lot of experience with VIPKID. They themselves have also been teachers for a very long time for a lot of them. All the workshops are hosted on Zoom, so you'll just need to kind of go through the instructions for your first workshop to download and make sure everything is ready to run. Usually it's just an email link sent to you when you sign up for a workshop, and then you just click the link and then it'll load you into Zoom, and then you can join the meeting. It's very, very useful, very relaxed. Again, you can learn a lot of material from there that you can't learn anywhere else. And you also have the opportunity to kind of type in your questions to the teacher, and they're very, very helpful and supportive in answering all those questions and any confusion you may have. So I found that that cleared up a lot of my questions. So I highly recommend that you join a number of workshops, as many as you can. Okay, last tip, number 5 is your booking time slots. So I just started, so I have been opening a lot of time slots, and I've learned that you should really open up as many as you can. It doesn't mean that you're going to be booked if you open it, it just means that you're available to be booked. And making sure that you're opening up all the time slots that you're available for will kind of make sure that you get more bookings. As soon as I opened up my bookings, I got my first 3 bookings, which was very exciting and very scary at the same time. But I opened those slots and people just booked it up. So far I've only had those 3, but all of my slots are opened up, I think for 3 weeks out. And you should also make sure to open up the peak time and short notice slots. You get incentives for those, and there's a higher chance of you getting booked. Just one thing is that you have to make sure that you are really available for those slots, and make sure that you don't end up missing any classes because you've forgot you had an appointment or anything like that. Also for the short notice slots, you have to kind of keep checking to make sure that you didn't get booked on really short notice. They can book up to 24 hours. So if you set short notice for today, say this evening at 7:30 p.m., they can technically book that same day, and you'd have to make sure that you're available for it. So that's just one thing to watch out for. And my last tip is you should really sign up with a referral teacher. So I did not, because I didn't know what I was doing. But I just didn't end up going with one. So I did the whole application process, the whole hiring process, the whole training and workshop stuff. I found out all on my own. It isn't difficult. I mean, you can go through it, but I think if you have a referral teacher, it would be very helpful to have somebody to go to at all times to kind of answer any questions you have, or if you're confused about something, they're there to support you. Obviously, the referral teachers will get, I believe, a bonus if you do eventually end up getting hired. But I think it's okay because they're there for you and they help you out. So I would recommend finding one. I didn't sign up for one, so I didn't have anybody to go to. I just relied on the Facebook groups, FAQs that I could find, anything on the internet, YouTube videos. I found all my information through those channels. Now, obviously, if you want some help, I can offer my assistance. I am, again, really new. I've just been with VIPKID for a few weeks. I signed my contract, I think, about a week ago. So I'm very new, and I remember a lot of the confusion that I had in the beginning and what I did to apply, what I did to get hired. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll just put the link down below and you can send me a message through there, and then we can chat about what you're looking for. Thank you very much. Bye.